Well, the debate over our country's energy future has taken an encouraging twist in the past couple of years. Here's what we know. Fossil fuels still supply about 87% of the world's energy needs. And while by all accounts worldwide oil supplies are dwindling, just the opposite is true for natural gas. Thanks to advances in technology, we now have access to natural gas fields previously thought impossible to reach. It's estimated we have roughly a 100-year supply of domestic natural gas. And not only is it abundant, natural gas is cleaner burning, producing less than a third of the greenhouse gases petroleum does, and virtually none of the pollutants. Now, legendary oil tycoon Boone Pickens calls it a bridge fuel to a more sustainable energy future. And as our Russ Joel shows us, it's a domestic fuel that Pickens wants everyone to jump on the bandwagon to promote.
OSU spirit was in full force at Gallagher-Iba Arena recently. The band was playing, cheerleaders cheering, and even Pistol Pete came to rev up the crowd. But the fans were not here cheering for Cowboy athletes. Rather, they came to cheer on a famous Cowboy alumni for victory in his plan to reshape American energy.
You must get involved in this. You must understand it.
That alum was Boone Pickens, who recently held a town hall at Gallagher-Iba to garner support for his visionary Pickens plan.
I understand the problem, I have a solution, and I have enough money to tell a story.
A story that begins with American natural gas. Pickens' goal is to wean Americans off imported petroleum, replacing it with domestically produced natural gas. And while there is no doubt plenty of gas to be found, some believe drilling too much too soon could spell disaster.
I don't believe that the energy industry broadly has been paying enough attention to trying to really understand energy supply and demand short term and what that's likely to do to energy prices.
Andy Weissman is an analyst for the natural gas industry and says gas producers should be conscious of the quantities they drill and the effect it could have on the market.
I have a market analysis service, and I predicted, I think, in sometime in the spring of last year, that by last fall, prices would drop fairly dramatically. And the conditions that caused that were already really quite apparent.
Conditions like too many rigs drilling too many wells. Between 2000 and 2008, Oklahoma alone nearly doubled the number of gas wells drilled in the state. Coupled with a wider surge in drilling across the nation, gas supply rose and prices went down. Way down.
Prices were high for a while, and so what happened is that there was a huge surge in drilling, and it's really, in effect, caused a lot of the problem that's occurred of natural gas prices dropping fairly dramatically. And I do think that's a problem for everyone, not just the energy industry here in Oklahoma and elsewhere, but ultimately a bad thing from a consumer standpoint as well.
And terrible for Oklahoma. In the last 10 months, tax revenues in the state have dropped dramatically, due in great part to falling natural gas prices. According to Pickens, though, a few bumps in the road to gas production may be worth bearing, a road that he says will give America some bargaining power on the world energy stage.
Today we have no position. We're an importer, we're a consumer. We don't get to sit at the table where energy questions are decided around the world because we're not considered to be a producer. We produce oil and gas, yes, but not enough.
A position that Weissman says can be achieved through good old American innovation.
It's essentially a technology play. You call it a technology play, a process improvement play, but what it's doing is that it's taking technologies that may have been around for a while, but were never really intensively applied. That's opened up a whole new option, really potentially the most important source of energy supply in the United States, potentially the most stable, potentially very reasonably cost, below the price levels that it was reasonable to expect previously.
A new solution for our energy future.
Now, if you'd like to see more, we do have the complete interview with Andy Weissman streaming on our website. Simply go to okhorizon.com and click on this week's Value Added.